Now, please listen very carefully. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Hello, friends, and happy Friday. How is everyone doing tonight? It is a fine, cool Friday evening here in southeastern Pennsylvania, and I'm so happy to be with you. I have my Matches Memorial Friday Savinelli filled with Haunted Bookshop, as is the tradition here on the Friday Night live stream. And I'm ready to kick off the Christmas season because that's pretty much what we're doing tonight. So I hope you all are ready for some Christmas cheer. And yeah, had a great start to the evening. I'll tell you all about that. But let's get things rolling. Let's see who we got assembled here so far. I know my friend Pepe was in early. Good to see you, Pepe. And there's David Bookshops, Mushroom Leg checking in from a catering event. I know you can't hear us, buddy, but it's good to have you along. Solitary Piper, good evening to you, sir. Ocho Ida, always good to see you, buddy. And there's Steve, Flint Hill Briar, Codger Jim. Cold in Georgia, my goodness, it's cold here in Pennsylvania, I say. Signalman Tony from Rhode Island, probably colder in Rhode Island. Life with a Pipe, good evening to you. He's at the community concert. I'm glad you could check in there, Life with a Pipe. Gary Edminster, good to see you. James Steitel. Michael Case, good to see you, Michael. Couldn't he miss the chance to choose the tobacco of the month? We'll stick you with this month. Well, Michael, I kind of stacked the deck this time, but you'll have the illusion of picking. I'm feeling much better, Jim. Much better. Thank you much. I mean, I still on Monday was sick, but Tuesday started to feel fine, and tonight I'm great. George Tiedemann, he's got a Savinelli Lumberman with Sir Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh Aromatic. Very nice, George. And I saw earlier that, I don't want to miss this, that David Bookshop had a Rossi 321 with Cuban Mixture. One of my favorite blends. Let's see. Paul Rupp, checking in from Southwest New Mexico. Good to see you, Paul. And let's see. Finally, a chance to. I'm glad you could join us, Ochoita. There's Couch, freezing his ding dong off. Sorry to hear that, Couch, but nice to have you checking in from Rochester. And there was a Christmas stroll, and I decided to stay in. Yeah, I get you there, Pepe. I get you. So the wife and I went out to dinner tonight. We had a really good time. We went to a local bar, and it's a funny story. So this little bar it's like 150 years old. It is within walking distance of my house, and we've known about it since we moved in here. But we all Mark in Rhode Island in the air duct. I hope you saw, Mark. I used that image at the intro here. So we knew this bar was, but it was kind of like shady looking, and we actually thought it was a biker bar. It turns out the town we live in is actually a dry county, dry town, but this bar was sort of grandfathered in because it was so old. So it was the only bar in town for a really long time. Now they loosened that up within the past 5 years or so, and there's a couple of microbreweries in town, which is nice. But we decided, we saw some reviews of this place, and apparently it's got good food and stuff. And we decided to go there tonight just for the heck of it. And it was wonderful. It's a dive bar, but we both kind of knew these things growing up. And we felt comfortable there, and the people were friendly, and we had a nice meal, had a couple beers, and then we could just walk across the street to the Christmas tree lighting. And you saw a couple of pictures from the Christmas tree lighting there. And I'll tell you a funny story from that later if I remember. It's not too funny, but yeah, it was just a good time. Did that, got to the bar restaurant around, I don't know, a little bit after 5, and the Christmas tree lighting was a little bit after 6, and I was home by a little bit after 7. Had plenty of time to get things set up, so it was really a nice way to kind of kick off the Christmas season. So let's see. James Steitel's got Velvet in a Mashuri Meersum Ozark Mountain Hardwood. Nice. With a Bunberg ginger beer. Very nice. And Pepe's got his Peterson B12 with Haunted Bookshop. Fantastic. Carolina Smoker, good evening to you. Yornik, good to see you, buddy. Ochoita's got Five Brothers and a Country Gentleman Cobb. It was fantastic, Mark. It really was. So, before I forget, let me get my my drink going here because I'm thirsty. And unfortunately, I've decided, or hopefully fortunately, I've decided to give Murray Monkey another shot. So we'll see how this goes. It just didn't fizz much. I don't know. That was a problem last time. Do you remember? It was kind of flat. Yeah, this just doesn't have a lot going on here. I mean, oh well, how bad could it be, huh? It's the same as last time, so it wasn't just that bottle. But hey, I got a 6-pack. I got to live with it. Let's see who else is checking in here. We got Tiago. Hello and good night. Good night to you, sir. Pipe Appeal, howdy. And Ron Hardcrackers. He's got some Kendall Dark and BC. Can't read that. Panache Billiard. There we go. And Phil Rivera. Hey, Phil. Cable laid today. Should be connected tomorrow sometime. Fantastic. Great to see you, buddy. Great to see you. Hope you're settling well there up in Oregon. Yeah, Phil made the long drive north, and if you're following him on Instagram, he's got some beautiful pictures up there. Speaking of beautiful pictures, I took a picture, but I don't have it ready to show here. But when I was leaving work tonight, which I'm in a suburb, so it's not like I'm in the woods or anything, but was pulling my car out of the parking lot, and there were 8 deer marching across the parking lot. Just the strangest thing. I see deer in the area quite often, but I've never seen this many of them. And walking across the parking lot, it was just odd to see. So I took a picture. I only got about 4 or 5 of them in the picture, but let's see. Gary Edmonster's got Peterson Captain Pete with half and half black coffee. Nice. Paul Ropp's got a J. I'm gonna need my glasses for this one. J. Well Luno pipe with SPC Hood Canal. Very nice. Carolina Smokers got 2019 McConnell Scottish Flake and an OMS Cherrywood. And Phil's tired of walking around like he's in Haiphong. 3 stories up, seeking out the magic signal. Oh, gotcha, Phil. So the other thing that happened today is we had to get, I told you a couple of weeks ago I got the furnace serviced, and that was good. And as part of that service, they checked out the chimney, and they said, you really should have somebody come in and look at the chimney. It's got a lot of buildup in the bottom, and it probably needs a new liner. So we had a chimney guy in today, and he put a new liner in the chimney. He actually extended it a bit because apparently the code has changed and we need it slightly higher, and cleaned it out and everything. So the chimney furnace, and I'm just, the reason I'm bringing that up is I just, for the first time, looked up and saw that he actually did something. So there's like new plaster on the wall and stuff. So that's great. But because of that, I had to take all the stuff that I've got in front of me here and move it away because the furnace is like right there. I could kick it right now from where I'm sitting. And that meant that when I got back from the Christmas tree lighting, I not only had to get all the stuff ready and get the video stuff set up, but I had to rebuild this whole setup. So that was fun, but what the heck. The things I do for you people, but I'm happy to do it. Let's see. James says he lives in a town Monday morning. Daughter, and he stepped outside. A coyote ran through the neighborhood yard and across. Yeah. It's funny, for a long time they said there were no coyotes in Pennsylvania. And I was driving home from work one night and I saw a coyote. And I started telling people, I saw a coyote last night. And they're like, you're crazy. like 3 years later, there's coyotes everywhere. Uh, and it's an interesting story how they got here. Mark in Rhode Island's got Carter Hall with Yingling. Oh man, Mark, you're living the dream. Let's see. Patrick Grant, good evening to you, sir. Yornik has John Aylesbury own mixture in a mirror with some excellent cold water. Ooh, it's a good vintage of cold water, Yornik. James Finn, good to see you, Jim. Critics View, good evening to you. And Doug Owen, hello there, Doug. I was just going to tell you something, but I lost track of what I was talking about. Oh, coyotes. So apparently, the story is that back in like the early 80s, the Pennsylvania Game Commission had a bunch of coyotes trucked in to Pennsylvania to try and control the deer population, which was exploding. And they have sworn up and down that that didn't happen. Although the truck driver that brought them in has, gone public saying he brought them in and everything. But the Game Commission absolutely swore up and down that that never happened and maintained that to this day. They say it never happened, but somehow coyotes have exploded in Pennsylvania. And we got a lot of them to the point where, people in the city are losing pets and stuff. So it's really, really something. I don't think I'm getting a new computer, Jim. I've got one. I actually rebuilt one of my wife's old laptops, and since I run Linux, it's great. It's actually faster than the one I'm working with right now. I just haven't gotten around to switching to it. So yeah, I'm going to hold out for the Truck Haunted Bookshop. Oh, you got a lot of raccoons, Doug? They make great tacos. Paragon Piper, how you doing? Smoking Rustica and an old Meerschaum. Nice. Okay, Yornik. Well, it takes time to really develop a taste for the vintage waters. So at this local bar tonight, I had a Deschutes fresh squeezed IPA. I don't know why I'm drinking IPAs. Something weird has happened where I don't like them, but the flavor is intense, and I kind of enjoy just having that sort of astringent bitterness. But it's not, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It just kind of, it's almost like a palate cleanser when I'm eating. So I kind of enjoy them when I'm eating, but I wouldn't like to have one right now. Yeah, well, Flint Hill apparently they just weren't indigenous here. Phil, folks understand you were relocating and everything. Don't worry about that. Jeffrey Feinberg, howdy to you, sir. And Paul Johnson, Friday Meerschaum with the 2020 Luxury Bullseye Flake. Oh, when you age that for a couple years, that's good stuff. Oh, he's from the South, Doug. Well, that makes more sense. It's not nice to fool Mother Nature, indeed, Michael. Probably did, Pepe. Ochoita says some IPAs are good. I don't want to go that far. Bona Piper checking in from Punta Cana. Very nice to see you, Christian. Plenty of digestion going on here, but it's great to see you, buddy. Enjoy your vacation there, my friend. Pepe likes IPA. A lot of people like IPAs. I never liked them, but for some reason I've been drinking them lately. Flint Hill, I'm not going to touch that with your 10-foot pole. I don't even want to know what's going on there with the raccoon parts. So same story, Carolina smoker. Brought him into North Carolina in the 90s for the same reason. Yeah. I've heard there's good fishing there, Michael. They are creepy, Doug. They really are. Amen to that, Paul Johnson. Yes, Patrick Grant is the nicest guy on YouTube. He's always happy and greets everyone, and I love Patrick. He's a good guy. There is a variety, Pepe. Mark, are you telling me to try that because you think I'll like it, or are you telling me to try that because it'll kill me? Hillbilly Piper, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Flint Hill, were you happy that you called the group of Coyotes, or was that like a uh-oh, what have I done moment? So I got some good news for y'all. Um, 2 weeks from tonight, on December 20th, I have confirmed that we will be having a call with our buddy Santa Claus. So he's once again agreed to grace us with some of his valuable time in this busy time of year. And you know, the funny thing about Santa is he spends most of the season with kids on his lap, telling them what he wants for Christmas and all that. He really enjoys sitting down with some pipe smokers and getting challenged. He really wants to hear tough questions. So between now and December 20th, I want you to think of your toughest questions for Santa Claus. Really challenge him. Creator, it is time for some sweet baby Jesus. My last day of work is a week from today, and I will be stopping on the way home. So hopefully next week I'll actually be having a bottle of sweet baby Jesus with y'all. Well, thank you, James. I'm glad you like it. Okay, Flint Hill, I got you. Well, good thing they just moved on. I mean, when they're in a pack, they can be nasty. Paul Johnson asks, can I give any quick advice or direction on YouTube editing? Is there a software you use? I'm starting one for my HVAC business. Paul, I use, so I don't do a lot of editing these days. I use OBS to do live streams and also to record my videos. And I can do all the stuff like the title cards and everything with hotkeys in OBS. So I very rarely have to edit a video. But when I do, and I've been using it for years, I use CaneRod. It's free software. It's available on all platforms. It's not the easiest thing in the world to learn, but it's not that hard. And if you've used any other editing software, you can pick it up pretty quickly. And there's some good tutorials on YouTube. So it's Caden, spelled Kden, live. That's the one I would recommend. Ah, yes, James Steidle. Today is the Feast of St. Nicholas. So everyone have a blessed Feast of St. Nicholas. And I hope you got oranges and chocolate coins, which is apparently what they do in Germany. Oh, Michael, the Hallmark Christmas movies have been going on. Well, first off, they have them all year now because I think on Thursday nights it's Christmas night on Hallmark. But they've been going on since early October. So, yeah. Oh no, Christian. Does that mean they confiscated the lighters? That's terrible. Steve has got Haunted Bookshop and a Peterson Tyrone XL90. Very nice. I haven't been on an airplane in a long time, and honestly, I don't know if I'm ever going to get on one again. I don't know. I mean, my wife and I may want to travel when I retire, but my passport has lapsed. I don't have one of those smart IDs, so I don't even think I can get on a plane right now. And I just don't want to put up with it. Armchair Piper, hello there, Ed. Ed, I will at the top of the hour. I got your email, and I will say something about that at the top of the hour. Yeah, Flint Hill, I saw that movie. My wife watched it. I saw about 15 minutes of it, and I laughed through the whole thing. Apparently, the reason the Chiefs are doing so well is they got a magical hat. It was so ridiculous. Every time they said the word hat, I laughed. But hey, the ladies like it. It makes them happy. But we did have a Hallmark moment at the Christmas tree lighting tonight, so that was kind of fun. We enjoyed it. They had the high school choir was there, and they sang a couple of Christmas carols. And then they sang Santa Claus is coming to town, and at that point the fire engine showed up bringing Santa Claus. And Santa and Mrs. Santa were on the fire engine, and we couldn't actually see them. I saw like his head getting off and stuff, and then I thought they were working their way through the crowd, and then all of a sudden the lights came on. There was no countdown or anything, so that was a little disappointing. But there is a funny story about a chair that I'm going to tell you, but let me see what Christian says here. Two of them were fancy. Let me get my glasses. Last one was cheap one. They seized the fancy one, stating it was dangerous. Oh, that's terrible. Christian, do you think you can fight it? Yeah, I agree, Paragon. I'd rather drive for 10 hours than fly for 3. Especially since I'm going to have to spend 3 at the hotel at the airport. Oh, that's crazy, Christian. So they left the disposable lighter that probably did have fluid in it, right? Of course it had fluid in it. It was disposable. So we're at this Christmas tree lighting and the choir singing and stuff, and there's Santa hasn't shown up yet. We don't even know that Santa's coming. We're just waiting for the lights to come on. And there's this large chair. Now there were sort of like benches and stuff around, and some older folks were sitting on them. We're standing, and I'm standing next to this big chair, and it's big. It's like a love seat, okay? And it clearly was like furniture. It wasn't like a park bench or something. It was furniture. But I'm standing right next to it, and at one point I actually put my hand on it. So it's right there, and it's crowded. There's like a big crowd in front of us, and I could not easily walk to the tree from where I'm standing because there's so many people. I'd have to be, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. And so we're standing there, and the choir's singing and stuff, and then the Santa's coming, and the fire engine and all that, and he's moving in, and there's like a commotion around the tree and stuff, and we're waiting for some announcement or something. Then all of a sudden the lights are on, and everybody applauds and stuff, and then the choir sings another song, and they announce that they're going to have line up because the kids will be able to sit on Santa's lap and you can take pictures and stuff like that. It was bitter cold. I'm so glad I don't have a kid because I'd still be standing there. But anyway, um, at this point, I turn and look, and my wife says, "What happened to the chair?" And it's gone. And it turns out that way up there by the Christmas tree, and there's got to be like 50 people between me and the tree, Santa's sitting on the chair. And we cannot figure out how they got the chair from right next to me up to there without us noticing it. And I said, well, it must be that Christmas Santa magic because I have no idea how they moved that through the crowd with nobody noticing. It was odd. Granted, I did have a couple beers at dinner, but no, it was very, very odd. Yes, Michael, the school is actually across the street from me, like catty corner. So if you walk diagonally across the intersection, then I'm on the corner house. If you walk diagonally across that intersection, you walk into the parking lot of an elementary school. Yeah, Brian, I have your problems when I fly too. I really hate that. That's terrible, Christian. So they just threw them away. Oh, geez, they didn't throw them away. Somebody took them home. That is just terrible. Yeah, creator, you're probably right about that. Dark sorcery Yornik. Hail Santa. You're probably right. It is a nice, quiet neighborhood, Michael. Yeah. With one exception. In the summer, I like to go out early on Saturday, Sunday morning and sit on the back porch, the back patio, and I'll have a cigar sometimes and coffee and I'll read or something like that. And I just enjoy that time. It's quiet. And they have an annual event at the school that's some kind of like fun run for the kids. And they have like music and all that kind of stuff. And it starts at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know why this bothers me so much because it's only one weekend of the summer. But it just really annoys me that I go to sit out there and I hear the music. I'm like, ah, geez, it's that weekend. So that's the big noise in the neighborhood. Other than that, it's fine. Occasionally, you get some kid with a hot rod going by late at night or something, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah, Pepe, it's all that Winter Wonderland stuff, I'm sure. So I was hoping Chris Webber would show up. Chris, are you out there? I'll give him a minute or two, and then I'll explain why I'm asking for him. Chris sent me a very nice gift that I want to show off. That is going to make some of you very, very happy, including my buddy Mark in Rhode Island, I'm sure. I do often have to say, get off my lawn, Michael. No, actually, nobody ever gets on my lawn. I have over the years developed a persona that makes most of the people in the neighborhood run away when they see me, which I like. My wife's the opposite. I'll come home and my wife will say, "Oh, I talked to so and so today." I'm like, "Oh, geez, I just finally got to the point where I could walk past him without having to talk to him, and now you reactivated the friendship, and I'm gonna have to." Yeah. All right. Well, I guess Chris isn't joining us, and that's fine. He's a busy man, I know. Uh, but he sent me a gift back in October that, first off, it's one of the few times, and this has happened a couple of times. I just get a package in the mail, and I don't know why I'm getting the package. I didn't order anything, and I open it up, and I just burst out laughing. And then, fortunately, there was a little note in it, so I knew who it was from. And I contacted him and said, "You son of a gun." So this ties into the opening uh, and my love of Die Hard. So we now have an official CaneRod Pipes Virtual Pipe Club Advent Calendar, courtesy of Chris Webber. Yes, it's the Nakatomi Plaza. And there he is, falling off of it. And you can see his head is right at the 6th, meaning it's the 6th of December. And we just can slide him up and down as so we'll be using that to track the days between now and Christmas. It ends right on Christmas Eve at the 24th. Yes, it's the Die Hard Advent Calendar. Thank you, Chris. I've been wanting to show that off since October, but I wanted to save it until we actually got into the Advent season. Oh my goodness, Christian. Well, I guess I would start traveling with bricks now. You people like it? I feel absolutely cursed by it. Because it's not a Christmas movie. It's a movie that takes place during Christmas. That's not the same thing as a Christmas movie. Welcome to the dark side, yes. Well, I'm drinking IPAs. I guess the next thing is I'll be saying Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Phil, I'm telling you, you're my brother, Phil. I appreciate it. Catcher in the Rye is a Christmas book. There you go. Now, Michael, unfortunately, it doesn't open. It just counts the days. I know, Phil. I actually had that video clip. You know what? Just for the heck of it, here you go.
Now, please listen very carefully. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
We'll be playing that a lot in the coming weeks. Right, every time a gun was fired, an angel got its wings. Indeed, yeah. Well, then Trancers is a Christmas movie, and if you're, if you want me to admit that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then you have to admit that Trancers is a Christmas movie. Lurker Troy, bite your tongue. I saw him tonight. He made a chair magically disappear. Crosby Corner, good to see you, buddy. I do like that Mel Gibson movie, though. What is it called? Fat Man? That's a great movie. Yeah, Michael, that's a little mean, but I think you're right. Or Bruce. Lurker Troy's going to become a nudist? I'm very confused, Troy. But I wish you luck. Yes, St. Nicholas punched Arius. That's true. Funny story, but it's true. Oh, I can't blame the 1 to 5 year olds for crying bloody murder, Phil. It's a scary thing to put a kid through. Oh, Mark. I don't think Trancers is related to Scanners, creator. I think they're completely different. Oh, wow, Doug. Slow smoke update. The winner with 95 minutes beat the old record by 30 minutes. My goodness. Oh, Doug and Northwest Pipe Smoker Tom went out amongst the first, but not first, I assume. How long did you go, Doug? What was your time? And more importantly, between you and Tom, who won? Oh, Buddhist. Okay, Troy, that's a little different. I think you need another D, by the way. Best tobacco for slow smoke? I think usually they, excuse me, usually they use a burley. Uh, Often it was just cube cut burley. But I think in recent years, at least from what I've heard, they've been deviating from that a bit. Doug went about 20 minutes. Tom was about 15. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Yeah. I think I sneezed on my elbow a little bit too much. Um, Tom went about 15. Talk too much. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Who died? I missed something. Patrick says they got pictures of him without his mask on. I don't know who we're talking about. First prize was a $500 Escorty. Nice. Yeah, the slow smoke that I entered at the Columbus show, they had a lot of Kia blend, and it was tough to get through. So I agree with you, Phil. If they told me how to smoke 965, I'd probably tap out before I even tried the light. That would be rough for me. Captain Black Grape Slow Smoke. Oh my goodness. That is terrible, Patrick. CEO of United Healthcare was gunned down in front of the Hilton in New York City. My God. Salty Dog Slow Smoke would be interesting, Mark. I could do a Rustica Slow Smoke. I'd probably do well with that. think we might be coming to the bottom of this bowl. And then we get to choose the tobacco of the month, which is also going to be my Christmas tobacco. Assassinated by a guy with a silenced pistol. Did they catch the guy? The pistol was jamming? My goodness. I never had any of that bacon tobacco, Muckle. I don't know what Sarge is up to these days. That's true, Ochoita. Five Brothers smokes itself. That would be a quick competition. I agree with you, Doug, on it being well balanced compared to it's not a lot of Kia Bomb, but it's something about it. I think it might be the Black Cavendish that's in it. I just cannot smoke 965. It just tastes horrible to me. You survived a whole tin of bacon old fashioned, Yornik? You're a better man and woman than I. Pepe asked Phil how you get Captain Black grape, and he says Captain Black original and a can of frozen Welch's. That's funny. I don't know, Michael. I thought it was Black Cavendish, but I don't know the blend that well. Yeah, Pepe, they did stop making grape uh, for some reason. All right, I'm done with the haunted bookshop. Let's wait a minute or two, and then we'll turn to the tobacco of the month. And I got to slow down. This is going down better this week. I don't know why. It's not any different. It's still kind of flat. It's still kind of sour, but for some reason it's not. Maybe it's because I was primed with 2 beers over dinner. Oh, yes, Mark. My wife bought that for me. I didn't get it until after Halloween, unfortunately, and I haven't put it away yet. But I'm glad you noticed, Frank. All right, so let's get this tobacco of the month thing on the road. So I've got three choices here, and I'm going to smoke all of these over the next month. So don't feel like you're picking one and I'm going to, put the others back, because these are my Christmas blends this year. And two of them I've had previously, but and I've had all these tobaccos, but the first one I have not had in a good, oh, I don't know, 8 or 9 years probably. Well, 6 or 7 years at least. And I'm really looking forward to it. So this is the one you're going to pick. So this is Germain's plum cake. And this is a tin that was actually sent to me by someone named Tim H. And Tim was a guy who back in 2016 got in touch with me and said, I have something I want to send you. Can you give me an address? And I said, sure. And he sent me a big box of actually very rare tobaccos. And in it were 2 or 3 tins of plum cake, because I had said that I liked it. And I really appreciate that, Tim. I haven't heard from him since, actually. It's really strange. But I did make Tim a couple of cob modifications and sent them to him, and he was happy about that. So I feel like we at least had a fair trade. But yeah, this is from 2016, Tim H. And one thing I want to point out to you is I did wrap this in parafilm back in the day, and look at that. It is completely unbroken. So it's really interesting to me. I don't know if you've paid attention to my videos on this, but the newer parafilm is splitting after just a couple of weeks wrapped around the tin. But the older stuff, it's still solid. So I don't know. They changed parafilm apparently. So I'm not using it anymore. I'm using the Renfrew hockey tape. If you haven't seen my video on that, it's out there. So this is one choice. This is Germain's plum cake, and this will be number 1. Do not vote until I get through all 3. Although this is the one you're going to choose, but do not vote until I get through all 3, because I want this to be a fair vote. This is a democratic process here. That's number 1. Now this one, this is some Kendall cream that was sent to me by my buddy Couch back in 2021, and I've been nursing this along. I've only got a couple of flakes left. There's probably enough for 1, maybe 2 bowls here, but I love this. It really fits in well with the holiday season. It's a great blend, and I will definitely enjoy smoking this at some point during this holiday. So Kendall cream, this is number 7,328.269871432. Okay? We got number 1 and that other number. And the third choice is yeah, I can't read this. I know what it is, but I just want to make sure I get the name right. It is the remains of, I believe it's Sutliff North Pole Peppermint Mocha. Yes, I still have North Pole Peppermint Mocha, and I will be smoking some of this during the Christmas season. So this we have number 1 and then that other one, and this is the square root of 372,528.2796 times I. It is a composite number. So those are your choices. Please vote. Okay, I got a vote for number 1. A couple people voted for number 3, but there is no number 3. Joey is voting for plum cake and the old parafilm. Armchair is voting for 1, 1, 1. Looks like 1s are running. I don't know what 3 is, because there was no number 3, but Ron's voting for 1. Looks like number one wins. I'm sorry, guys. I have been really wanting to open this for a long time. I will smoke all three of them, and maybe we'll do a different one each week as we lead up to Christmas. But tonight, I just really want to try this. So, yeah, I didn't let you vote. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But hey, this is a unique experience. This is you're gonna like this. And if you ever get a chance to buy this, buy it and send it to me. I will pay you. I will gladly pay whatever you pay for it. It's wonderful stuff. And it really is just a blend that encapsulate Christmas for me. And I haven't had it in so long. I can't tell you what it's like. And I hope it lives up to the hype that I've created around it. Oh, that smells good. That is pretty. I have no idea how old this is. Again, it was given to me in December of 2016. So what's that? 8 years old? But it was probably older because a lot of the tobacco that he sent me was fairly aged. Several people still voting for number one. Okay, I appreciate it. I don't think it's an aromatic. Well, it depends on how you consider an aromatic. All three. Brothel of filthy lies and wicked untruths. Sorry, Yornik. It is definitely flavored. Doug asked if it was an aromatic, but it appears that it's a natural flavoring. I don't think there's anything chemical on this at all. And from what I can remember, and it's been a long time since I've had this, it is sort of spices, like aromatic spices, almost like baking spices. So I'll let you take a look at the top of the tin here. There's a wee bit of white mold on that. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not doing a good job of showing it off, but yeah. So you can call that bloom if you want, or whatever the heck you guys call it, but it's mold. The tobacco itself is a very fine shag cut, and it's a mixture of what appear to be light and dark Virginias and some probably dark Cavendish in there. And I will look it up and let you know what it's composed of. But let me get a pipe loaded. So I'm going to be smoking this in this Savinelli. This is actually a gift from my buddy Couch, and I'm forgetting the type of Savinelli this is. Was it Kirshner's Couch? It was a tobacco shop that sold this. It was a pipe that they had made for them by Savinelli. But it's a nice big pipe, and I've been thinking about this all day, guys. Sorry I stuffed the ballot box there, but you know how it is. I was going to spend the week just making a video every day about how wonderful the tobacco was and how it's the only tobacco that you could imagine voting for. And then I thought maybe that would work, but in the end I decided to just steal it. Even the pre-draw on this, it's like nutmeg and cinnamon, a little bit of anise. Where's my lighter? Anise, anise, whatever you want to say. That is good. Yeah, I'm getting like nutmeg and plum, and but tobacco as well. Good quality tobacco. I'm gonna pull it up on tobacco reviews and let you know what it is. Blended from Virginia tobacco with dark Cavendish and extra mature black Cavendish, flavored with a delicate and barely discernible plum topping whose ingredients are known only to the owners of the company. Traditional pipe mix, of which 80% is prepared from 7 different types of Virginia leaf. The remaining 20% is specifically prepared from black tobacco made from Cavendish and Negro head, a rare air-cured leaf. This is possibly the only British-made tobacco containing this particular ingredient. The unique added flavor gives an agreeable taste and a pleasant aroma. The origin is the Channel Islands. So there you have it. I would not call it an aromatic, but it definitely is flavored. Come on, lighter light. I don't think I'm frixted, Phil. All right, Big Country Briar. Good to see you, Cole. Out at the West Virginia Symphony Orchestra Christmas concert. Well, you enjoy, buddy. I don't remember it biting, Michael, but it could if you puff too fast, for sure. It's Germain plum cake, Cole. Coca-Cola syrup. There's something about this that just makes me think Christmas, and it's not very sweet. It's actually kind of dry and a little bit sour, to be honest. But it's got that. It's almost like fruit cake in a way. You know, it's got those sort of cake spices riding on top of it. The Virginias are a little tart, but not too tart, and there's a little bit of sourness in there, maybe coming from the Cavendish. Uh, oh, Doug, I was just reading. I hadn't even thought about that, but that's the name of the tobacco leaf. I guess it's okay to say it. I mean, it's a word in other languages that just means black, right? So I didn't even give it a second thought when I read it. So I apologize if I offended anybody with that. I certainly didn't mean to. Yeah, I see you're in a comment. I honestly just read it. I wasn't even thinking. So, oh, Doug, I wish I could send a pipe fill to everybody, but I would quickly run out. And you said it was, it does indeed say imported by Arango Cigar Company, Northbrook, Illinois. It does not have Latakia, no. You're holding out for mincemeat? Well, Codger Jim, to be honest, this is about as close as I've ever had to mincemeat pipe tobacco. Oh, my grandmother used to make mincemeat cookies, and oh, I would kill to have one of those today. They were these soft cookies that had mincemeat like folded into the middle of it. So there was like this mincemeat center of them. Oh, those were so good. I have no idea how she made them. She took that secret with her. Not familiar with that Agatha Christie novel, Doug, but I'm guessing I probably wouldn't be able to say the answer here on YouTube. Oh, that's why your pops is okay, Yernick. I get it. I get it. Just send it to Ed. Okay. Hey, Couch is back. Smoking Germain's plum cake, Couch. Didn't bring enough for the whole class, you know. Is that so, Doug? I'm kind of surprised by that. Well, not terribly surprised, but yeah. Might be similar, Paragon. I'm not familiar with the Italian cookie with the fig center, but the interesting thing about these where they were soft, even after they cooled off and, sat for a couple days, they were still very soft. It wasn't like they never got like a chocolate chip cookie where they were crumbly. Oh, I loved those. Yes, Gary, it was 10 Little Northerners. Yes. You just reminded me, Gary, of something terrible that I've been watching on Netflix that I probably shouldn't talk about. Uh, but I'll tell you about the thing I finished. So just because I don't want to leave that hanging, I've been watching a cartoon that is horrible. It is just absolutely horrible. I don't know if I talked about this before, but it's called Paradise PD. Do not watch it. Do not watch it. It's hilarious, but it is like really, really filthy. Um, Not something I would recommend to anyone. But I have to admit I'm watching it and it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh and then it makes me feel guilty for having laughed. Uh, it's kind of like if South Park and Family Guy got together and had a child that was X-rated. Uh, yeah, I'm talking it up and I shouldn't be. So anyway, that's what I was thinking of when Gary made his joke, because it reminded me of something that happened on that cartoon. But I just finished a really interesting series. Okay, Doug, I vaguely remember that title, so I'll take a look for that. Take a look at that movie for sure. Um, so I was watching. I for some reason I've been really drawn to these Korean series. The acting is good and the writing is excellent. I mean, they're coming up with new ideas. A lot of what I see in American TV or American movies is just kind of rehashes and remakes and stuff. But the stuff I've seen coming out of Korea and Germany and places like that on Netflix, they're new ideas, and I'm just enjoying watching some of that stuff. And I'll often watch it with subtitles, but sometimes I get lazy and just go to the dubbed version if it's available. And I watched this one dubbed. But I kind of wish I watched it with subtitles because you get more of the acting that way. But this was called The Glory, and it was incredibly good. It was about a girl who, when she's in school, gets bullied, and I mean viciously bullied. It's really it's hard to watch some of the scenes because they have these, they're essentially torture scenes of this young girl being bullied by her schoolmates. Um, and she drops out of school because of it. And 18 years later, she comes back to take revenge. But the way she does it, it's not like she sneaks up on them and shoots them and stuff. She very cleverly kind of infiltrates herself into their lives and begins turning them against one another. And it was such a good drama. I was hooked on it, from the first episode. And I very rarely binge watch something, but it was 16 episodes. I think I finished it in 3 days. I was sick for most of that, so I didn't have much to do other than sit there and watch Netflix and feel awful. But my goodness, it was good. So if you're up for a good Korean drama, The Glory is highly recommended by me. It might be like a chewy oatmeal raisin. It's hard to say because the chewy oatmeal raisins have the raisins and the oatmeal in them, so I don't know how soft it would be without that. These were very soft. Yeah, there was some oddities going on in South Korea, Gary. I followed some of that. I did not know that, Michael. And I have to say now I wish I didn't know that, but hey, why not? All right, James, you have a great weekend, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Yornik recommending The Madness. Haven't come across that, Yornik, but I'll take a look. So I've got The Madness, and then there were none to look for. I have seen Akira, Creator. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. They do like their kimchi, though. They do indeed. I mentioned probably about a month ago that I was watching another Korean series called Young Creature, which was spelled Gyeung, Song. That was fantastic too, but that was more of a horror type thing with, monsters and stuff. Yeah, again, I would love to watch American made films and series, but they just don't grab me the same way because they're just the same stories over and over again. For some reason, these foreign ones, the other one I'm thinking of is Dark, which was a German-made series. They just have very unique approaches to the story, and I like that. Sauerkraut times 100. That's one way of thinking of kimchi. I like kimchi in small doses. It's not something I could eat all the time or a lot of, but I do like some occasional kimchi. And it's quite healthy. Um, it's relatively low fat. It's fermented, so it's good for you and makes a good snack. For a while, when I was dieting, I would buy there's a Asian supermarket not far from where I work, and I would buy a big jar of it and bring it home. And my wife didn't like it. She said it smelled. So actually, I don't know if you can see it. Sorry, you're off at a wonky angle now, but that container right there, that's my jar of shame where I put all my bad stems. That's actually an old kimchi container. Kira Kurosawa, yeah, Kurosawa did some good stuff. I actually came to Kurosawa through Godzilla because a lot of the people that worked on Godzilla also worked on the Seven Samurai. Excellent movie, and that got me interested in Kurosawa. And he was groundbreaking. The problem is that a lot of those films you have to watch subtitled, which I don't mind, but my wife's not a big fan of it. So yeah, it is good for the gut, creator. Definitely is. Yeah, Doug, I don't know about. I was talking to my wife the other day. We saw a video. I forget the name of it, but the fermented fish that you're talking about, it's got a name, and there's been a lot of videos on YouTube with people trying it lately. Um, and it's foul. It's fermented fish. It's got to be hard to eat. Well, anyway, there was this video of somebody trying to feed it to a cat, which was hilarious because it's a fish and the cat wants nothing to do with it. Um, so we watched that, and I said, there's a couple things that before I die, I want to try, just because I don't understand how people can enjoy them when they sound so impossibly inedible. And that's one of them. The fermented fish, the 1,000-year egg is another, and Limburger cheese. I've always been curious about that and never brave enough to try it. But there are people that say it's absolutely delicious, and you just have to get past the smell. Someday. Ah, yes, Paragon. I don't think you could have a meal made by a Korean grandmother without getting some kimchi. Kimchi and bologna sandwiches, Ron? Really? Ah, yes, Michael. Somebody recently sent me Boris Karloff and Vincent Price video. Was it you? It was someone sent it to me. And I know I forwarded it on to Mark in Rhode Island. I can't remember who sent that to me, but it was wonderful to see. It was on the Red Skeleton show. Sam Strong. That's what I'm talking about, Flynn Hill. I can't remember the name either, but it's something like Sam Strong. Ah, The Outsider on Netflix. Okay, that's another one I'll have to look for, creator. Thank you. Doug, good thing to remember there. Yes. Yes, Yornik, that it's so strumming, something like that. Yeah. You have to open it underwater and use sparingly. Okay. Once stepped in Limburger cheese. Okay. Phil, if you're still out there, you've done a lot of Asian foods and traveled in that part of the world. Have you ever done the 1,000-year egg? Phil might have dropped off because his connection isn't great these days. So I'll say we still got time to go, so don't run away. But I just want to remind everybody. I said it at the beginning, but you might have come in late. I've got confirmation that Santa Claus is going to make himself available for a call on the 20th. So 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to be having a nice Christmas show. It'll be the last live stream before Christmas, and we'll have a chat with Santa. And Santa likes to be challenged, so I want you all to think about your best question for Santa Claus between now and then, because we'll have plenty of time to ask him questions. He enjoys it because he spends this time of year dealing with little kids sitting on his lap saying, I want this, I want that. He wants the deep probing questions. You want to get the real story behind Santa. Oh, Doug, don't go back to that diner. Oh, Gary. Yes. Okay, creator, I had to put on my glasses because what I read was an American deserter gets initiated into the Yakuza. Jay Leno plays the part. Uh, Jared Leno. Okay. Hey, Doug, you're more than welcome to ask that question of Santa in 2 weeks. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer, or he'll hang up on us, one or the other. But, Santa's a friend at this point. We can ask him anything. Yornik, I hope you bring that up in 2 weeks' time. I'd love to hear Santa explain that one. I heard Mrs. Santa once auditioned for a role on Gilligan's Island. That's just what I heard. Guys, I just want to thank you for voting for this. You made me happy. Paragon, I'm pretty certain the naughty and nice list is completed before the 20th, so I think you're free. Oh, yes, Ed. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry, and I will say something about this on Sunday, too. So Ed had an idea for something called the YTPC reunion. And let me open up his email because it's an intriguing idea. YTPC holiday reunion. He put up a video about this. I haven't seen it yet, Ed. I apologize. But his idea is contact anyone who you may know that has been a part of the YTPC but hasn't posted in a while, and ask them to post a video to let us all know how they're doing. And if they do this, maybe we'll make an annual holiday event. So I think it's a great idea. I don't know how successful it's going to be, to be honest, because I think a lot of people aren't part of the community simply because they don't have the time anymore. But yeah, if you know someone that used to be a part of the community and haven't heard from in a while, and you want to reach out to them and say, hey, why don't you make a holiday video just to say hello and let us know how you're doing. We'll sort of have a holiday reunion of all the former folks that I hate to say former members, because you never become a former member. You're a member for life, right? But I love the idea, Ed, and I hope it's very successful. And I'll do a more articulate job of talking about this on Sunday, I promise. I don't think Mrs. Claus is very good at making hotcakes, creator. I think she outsources that to elves. Her and Lisa Douglas were terrible at it. Oh, Doug, now I'm going to have Diana Rigg and Skimpy Ferris stuck in my head, and I'm not going to be able to sleep. Or elections in Ukraine, Yornik. Pick or choose. Phil wants Mrs. Howe in a Santa's helper outfit. Okay. Mrs. Santa is a hotcake. Good answer, Doug. Good answer. Well, folks, we've managed to disparage the good name of Mrs. Claus. You picked an excellent tobacco, guys. I really do appreciate it. I will smoke the others. I'm sorry I pushed that, but hey, it's my show. I'll do what I want. I still have a fair amount to drink here, but it won't take too long. Yes, Michael. The missus is home now. Uh, it's uncertain where she's going to be for Christmas. It's her mom's first Christmas alone, so she might go and spend it with her, and I encourage her to do it. So we'll see, but I'll be here. Good night, Armchair Piper. You have a great weekend, buddy. Thank you, Phil. I feel the same about you, buddy. It doesn't matter what they say about you. Yeah, we better draw this to a close. So thank each and every one of you This is always a great time, and this time of year it's especially fun because we loosen up, we enjoy the holiday season, we enjoy all the goodwill and all the fun associated with Christmas and the end of the year and the coming new year and all that good stuff. So thank you for joining me. You all take care. Have a fantastic weekend and a great week ahead. I will be back on Sunday with a video of some sort. I will talk more about Ed's holiday reunion idea. And again, 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to have Santa Claus live answering your questions. Next week, we're going to have me live answering your questions, as always. And who knows? Maybe I'll smoke some peppermint tobacco. Who knows? Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.